What tell me about some of your like food. Like I want to know because you're like obviously we're on a food podcast
yes.
and I
Love to
know
eat.
yeah, well I mean one of the first days we're in here building the set, you know, you're like, "All right, I got to order some food." And you introduced me to the crispy ginger chicken at Mai Tai.
And it has cashews on it, and like that's my favorite nut is the cashew. So you can't get much better than like a nice crispy gingery fried kind of chicken.
Yeah.
With a good sauce on it.
Well, it's not too often people are introducing me to something I haven't had in town. So I really, I enjoy it. I've ordered it twice since you've introduced me to it.
Twice now. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome.
But yeah, so obviously you like Thai. I mean, tell me about some of the other places you like to go, what you like to order.
Around Bloomington?
No, my bad. I didn't realize this was No Dishes. Well,
because I get to travel a lot, and so that's for me is really fun to kind of explore what else is out there in the world, try to find like things that are more specific to that area or that region. Because I grew up here in Bloomington, like I kind of get in a rut sometimes of like the things I know that I like, and I don't think of them as like a special suggestion for someone. It's just kind of like, well, this is what I do. So like, yeah, like Thai food is a frequent carry out in our house. Mai Tai downtown or Siam House are pretty equal. I mean, unfortunately, my favorite thing of all time was Siam House's lunch buffet. They don't have it anymore, but it was like back in the day as an undergrad, you could get it for like $7 or $8 and like just get the most like gourmet, delicious Thai food, unlimited and like freshly made, freshly prepared. So I still go there and I'll order their entrees.
But it's not the buffet.
Like that. It's not the buffet,
dude. You've told me about it before, and I've had Siam House multiple times, but never got to experience the buffet. We were talking about Taste of India's though.
I was just there yesterday.
Dude, it's so good.
They had a I actually was talking to the guy at the register because like I feel like you see the pretty standard things they have at every buffet every day there, but there was something that I'd never had before there, and he's like, yeah, we just started taking it off of our menu and trying it at the buffet, and it was I looked at it and I thought, oh, that's chicken. And I was like, yeah, I love chicken. Put it on. It looked kind of spicy. It was red.
Red means spice.
Yeah. Well, because they do have a red chicken there that's called like chili chicken or something with peppers and onion and garlic. And that I know is good. But this had a different name and it was in a different spot. And I was like, oh, this is different. I'll try it. And I was eating it. And like, I almost got through the whole portion. And I was like, wait a second. This is cauliflower. And it was delicious. It was amazing. It was like gobi something. It was a GHOBI. And then I didn't see what the second word was. And I was talking to the guy. I was like, man, that gobi was delicious. He's like, yeah, we're starting to try new things that we have on our normal menu as buffet items.
I love that.
That's great that they're like starting to mix things up and do things like that, because we had a few years without buffets, right? With
yeah, no, it's like don't take it for granted. Yeah, well, the last time I was there, I mean, there's all the little, man, what are they called? They're like the little crispy things somewhere like
pakora.
Those
are the bomb. Nowadays I only get like one or two of those because I know I could just fill up on those.
I could do
alone.
2 full plates of those. But anyway,
and then you could like put the curry or whatever on top of it.
Yeah,
just to like add a little extra.
Yeah, a little.
Do you do the chutneys though, or do you go all the way to the end? Past all the food, then they have
like Jordan, you might not know this.
Well, because it's like it looks like there's like a yogurt and like just like plain lettuce and like wedges of tomatoes.
So the last time I went, I did not. But the time before that, I did.
Which one did you?
Like mango chutney.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have one there. It's like pickled onions. It's savory. It looks it's reddish again. Looks reddish, spicy, and it's like it just reminds me of like barbecue for some reason. The flavor profile of it.
Yeah, I mean,
I just get a big old spoon.
I'm a big onion guy. Yeah. Every time I would go into Crazy Horse for a while, when Jay King was still there, he'd always be, "Let me guess, add onion," because like I'd always like order something and add onion. Yeah, every single time. Yeah. Well, that's
I'm a big potato guy. I love potatoes.
Little starchy starch.
My parents, either my mom or my dad, they'll both tell the story of like, oh yeah, like when you were a baby, my dad's mom, my grandma, would watch me like during the day while my parents were working, and they loved saying like, "Oh yeah, your grandma used to take you to McDonald's. You call it Dondu's, and she would sit you down and give you French fries, and you loved it.
Yeah,
and you'd drive by and you'd be like Dondu's, like, and want French fries
just
all the time.
Hooked
and I think from that point on, like any kind of potato, I'm game for. The reason I'm bringing this up is you said Crazy Horse, and the first thing I think about when I think about Crazy Horse,
potato cakes.
No, just their plain old French fries.
Oh yeah, all right.
And I used to have a little studio office just down that alleyway across the street.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Bank.
Yeah.
And that was a thing. I had their phone number on my dry erase board. I call them up for just like a to-go order of French fries.
I need a little midday snack.
Yeah.
Get me through.
I think they use like an Old Bay or some sort of like light Cajun style flavor on them, but it's not heavy duty like say a Five Guys Cajun fry would be.
Yeah.
But it's got like a nice salt on it. They're usually not either too overdone or underdone, and like they're a little bit bigger and fluffier. And I think it's kind of like people look at me and they think I'm crazy. Like Crazy Horse fries are not that good, but I like them, man.
No, they're great. Crazy Horse has, I mean, ever since they stopped serving cantaloupe with every, do you remember those days?
I remember.
It was like a slice of honeydew or cantaloupe with everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got to stop. And eventually they finally stopped. I never got it. But
yeah, I know. I don't.
The cheese sticks there, the wings,
fried macaroni cheese.
Yeah.
It's like a puck.
Yeah,
deep fried.
It's like, yeah, I'll do the fried mac and cheese. How many pucks would you like? Yeah, it's like I'm gonna 3. What do you think, honey? 2 pucks, 3 pucks.
Those are good.
Yeah,
love those.
What about speaking of buffets, old Mr. Hibachi?
That's pretty much my like. If I'm like gonna go to a buffet, like probably 9 times out of 10 nowadays will be that buffet.
I mean, I feel like it's consistently ranked the number 1, isn't it? I feel like it always gets
for
like
Chinese or for like all
buffet
in Bloomington?
For buffet.
Yeah. Well, there were a few downtown that have since I've just found out recently have shut down that I would have ranked above Hibachi just because I feel like, I mean, Hibachi is consistent. It's like literally gonna be the same stuff in the same part of the steam top like all the time. There's rarely something new to try there. So I know it's consistent, but I like things off the beat path a little bit if I can find it. Like Anatolia had an amazing lunch buffet, and RIP, I just found out they actually closed down. Turquoise also had an amazing lunch buffet. Oh yeah,
I've had the Turquoise one.
This is going to show how bad I don't go downtown very often anymore. But do you remember Samira? Or are they still there?
Yeah, they're still open. Yeah,
Samira used to do a lunch buffet.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they still do the lunch buffet, but I want to say they do.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I've ever had Samir actually was that buffet.
Yeah.
And that's one of the ones that I always forget that I want to go in and do a nice dinner and write a review about, because that's consistently one of the places.
They're fantastic.
That people are like, that's my favorite restaurant. And I never talk about because I've only been there once.
Yeah.
And like, I need to give them the love that they deserve.
They don't have a flashy outside, and it's like I feel like they've been there for so long, like it just like I'm blind to it. You know what I mean? And then they have that super long side of the building with like nothing on it,
right?
And so it's like, come on, guys, you could like do a mural there, and like it says Samira or something, you know?
Yeah, no, I get it.